Hi there, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you believe it's almost like we have gone through a time warp together and ended up somehow back where we were just a few weeks ago. Hello, everyone. This is NECA Live, the show where we bring you all of the latest and the greatest of the National Electrical Contractors Association. I'm David Meade, and if we haven't met before, my job is to tell you all of the great, exciting news that's going on. But frankly, there's only one thing that we want to talk about today, and that is the incredible, successful convention that we had what seems like, 20 years ago in Nashville. The first time that the convention ever came to the wonderful, incredible, phenomenal city of Nashville, and it did not disappoint. We've already got some comments coming in and lots of likes. Kelly Lamb, good to see you. Thank you, Kelly, for coming and joining us. And Eric Oden says, as the kids say, let's go. All right, well, we are going to get go. I think we should take a little time now to reflect on what was a phenomenal convention. And I really do mean it. It was truly what we can call the best kind of reunion. A family reunion full of brand new and familiar faces, impressive keynotes, including John Rich and Damon John. John Rich absolutely brought the house down. We had award ceremonies and, of course, not forgetting top-notch educational sessions, roundtables and receptions. And not to mention, NECA felt very at home in Nashville, and I happen to think that it was the perfect warm-up for the amazing time that we're all going to have in Austin next year. Now, we are joined by a couple of NECA Live stalwarts now. There really would be no NECA Live without my two guests today, and I am delighted to be joined by Katie and Stephanie. Thank you so much to both of you for taking the time to come and join us. Katie, holy moly, can you believe what a time we had together?
I cannot. It seemed like forever since we'd been together in person.
I know. And Stephanie, you were tuning in remotely, so we very much got the best of both worlds. How was it for you?
Definitely. It was a fantastic convention. It was fantastic to see everything that was happening virtually, but also how excited everyone was to be in Nashville. The energy really came through into the virtual side. And it was just wonderful to see it all come together and have, you could tell there was a sense of relief for everyone.
And relief really was it. And in many ways, it was an absolutely record-breaking show as well. So, Stephanie, let's kick off with you. Not only did NECA Convention go off without a single hitch this year, but NECA also offered a virtual option with live and on-demand content for people who weren't quite able to attend. Why did NECA feel this was so important after all of the investment that you made in pure virtual? Why is it so key and so strategically important that we keep this hybrid element alive?
With the hybrid element, we just had such a great reaction to NECA 2020 Live that it really opened our eyes to the benefits of it for so many of our members. There was the ability to participate in the convention from anywhere, the ability to view content on demand for 30 days because people could never participate in everything that went on because we've always had such a jam-packed schedule. But also that ability for companies to dig in deeper into their companies and offer the quality education and programming for convention to more people. There's just so many people within a company that haven't been able to participate in convention because you can't send your entire team. And so this is a great way to really expose more people to it. And we were just so fortunate to have such a great staff, both on the ground in Nashville and working virtually, to really pull off both events simultaneously because it was really two separate events, but one big slate of programming.
And I think what you're saying there is really true, Stephanie. Lots of people don't realize that when you're doing a virtual event, it's actually 3 events that you're trying to plan all at once. The in-person experience has to be phenomenal. The virtual experience has to be equally incredible. But also the third event is happening for 30 days afterwards as people enjoy the content in a space and a place that works well for them. And one thing that I loved this year was the use of the virtual studio, because that's not really really possible for all of our just in-person attendees. The virtual studio allowed us to have really deep dive, meaningful one-to-one conversations with thought leaders who could help us think differently. How do you think the studio element worked? Do you think it worked well, Stephanie? Did it add value?
I thought it made me want to have you on just a full-time NECA TV show. I thought it was great. I thought we got great participation, great feedback, great engagement of it, but it was a great opportunity to really listen to what some members, some staff members, some different speakers were saying and what they thought about how everything was going at convention. It was a little bit more of a personal experience, and I think we've been able to provide in an in-person that I hope everyone who was there in Nashville goes back and watches that content, because I think it's great to just experience that new part of the in-person experience.
It's so true. If you were there in person, that means that you simply didn't have the opportunity to enjoy those studio discussions. So make sure that you do take some time, because we covered off areas like leadership and ambition. We covered off policy making, the role that you can make and take in having your voice in the future of the industry and lobbying, etc. So if you haven't seen those, you absolutely must. Now, Katie, I know NECA Nashville, of course, it brought everyone together, but it also allowed some members to be recognized for really important, prestigious awards and learn all about some NECA initiatives that are important to all of us. What was the most impressive part of the convention for you?
For me, the most impressive part was how everyone was able to come together. It was when Stephanie talks about being able to feel the energy virtually, in person, it was 10 times better. Our chapters, our members, our attendees, our exhibitors, our staff, everyone just came together and wanted to be there. We thought going into this that this would be a family reunion, and it far exceeded my expectations. You know, when we talk about what the thought leadership that took place in the office, not in the office, but the live studio, the same thing was happening in the education sessions at the convention. And I heard so many people say, that they wished that they could have, they had to pick and choose which education sessions they went to. And what Stephanie was talking about, the hybrid earlier, really allows people to go back and watch some of the stuff that they had to miss. Because at convention, you can't be everywhere at once. But by offering it as a hybrid, you can go back and see the pieces you missed virtually. So it's all just very exciting. And it came together. When Stephanie talks about, the sense of relief, I think everyone was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, is this really going to happen? Is this going to be the first really big live event for NECA? And we were able to pull it off in such an epic way that it was just amazing that we were able to do it.
And this is no exaggeration. You're going to think this is really cheesy, but as I walked in to the trade show floor, that Beth and Sue and the team just always do the most world-class job on it. It really is world-class. I actually felt, if I'm being very honest, a little bit emotional, because it just felt like such something that we have taken for granted for decades. These people work hard day and daily all across the country. And I think isn't it our job and it's our responsibility to provide somewhere for them to come together as an industry, to inspire them, and also, frankly, to thank them. They have worked crazy hard over the course of the last 18 months. Stephanie, the whole industry really should be incredibly proud.
Yeah, it's definitely the type of event that people look forward to. They plan their year around. They look at it as a resource for them for how they're going to move their business forward. And we provided some great content in 2020 to help fill the gap that COVID brought in. And we really made sure that we were providing these resources, providing new ways to do things. And it allowed us, I think, to expand our services. But we're so happy to be able to come back in person and provide everything we've learned to really just offer so much more to our members.
And it is in that offering more, because one of the, for me, the breakout successes of the pandemic has been the commitment, the investment in podcasts, the NECA Podcast Network. How cool was it to have the live podcast studio inside the middle of the trade show floor? Tahira and the whole team did an amazing job. Katie, we're really at the cutting edge, aren't we? I mean, we're essentially YouTubers now. Aren't we? Really?
We are.
We're down with the kids.
We are. I mean, everything that Tahira and innovation was able to pull off in that whole innovation area, between the podcast and having an exhibitors talking about the greatest and latest products, it just really took everything to the next level. I have to build on what Stephanie said, that I think that we broke so many records at this convention and trade show because of the connectivity that we were able to create during the pandemic. And when she said, we're taking what we've learned, we're taking out what we've learned, and we're taking everything to the next level so that we can provide the best services to our members. And I think that's why everyone wanted to be there, to feel that sense of family, because of everything that we were able to do.
It is really special. Now, what this does, Katie, is, I think the feedback has been amazing. Does put quite a lot of pressure on, Katie, as we move forward. So what is next for NECA? Any big new events on the horizon? Have we got any top secret announcements we can make?
Well, I mean, we have CLI, EMI, and safety coming up in November. If you want a big new announcement, we are going to be working with Bixie, and we're going to create a joint conference that'll happen in spring of 22. And we're getting ready to announce some information on that. So that's pretty breaking news in the whole low voltage world.
Breaking news. Hold on. I think we need a little sound effect for that. There we go. Cool. Keep going.
And then I think the biggest thing is we have a full slate of meetings in 2022. We're not stopping. So all the meetings that you've come to know and love with NECA, whether it's the district meetings, the regional meetings, managers meetings, they're all coming back. And, you know, Stephanie, Beth, and I are working very closely together to make sure that we provide the top content. You're going to see new programs. I'm very excited to the speakers and everything that we have coming up. So
the truth is,
we are not resting on our laurels here.
Yeah, the one thing in all the years I've been working with NECA is you're constantly listening, constantly changing. And Stephanie, is that a challenge from an education point of view to continually reimagine, or ultimately is it just about listening to members?
It's really interesting from electrical education, from the industry. There's the technology side and the process side that's always improving. And then there's some things that are really about getting better and bringing new people into the industry. So when you look at it from an education side, there are some topics that change in every single meeting, every single convention with the new innovation. And then there's some stalwarts that stay the same because you're bringing new people in. Project management's changed in the last 50 years, but the core basic principles are still there, and you're bringing in the next generation. So we always try and strike a balance between what education we need to provide for an individual who's coming up, and what education you need to provide to help evolve a company and make it become bigger and better. So there's always a nice balance to that for education, which is sometimes a challenge, but it's a really good one.
Yeah, and what I love is the honesty of the members. If they need something, they always tell you. And they're telling us right now, lots of amazing feedback. Who have we got? Andy Roy is saying, great event, NECA. Thanks for all of the hard work. Renee is saying, we loved having NECA with us last week. Actually sad to see Katie and the team go. They were amazing to work with. And by Katie and the team, I think she didn't name check me, but I think she mainly means me, so I appreciate that. We've got Wes Wheeler. It says, thanks, NECA, and everyone for a great event. It is about the connections that we make at these events. It's also about the amazing surprise musical talent, by the way, Wes Wheeler. Tahira is saying, Katie and Stephanie are so inspiring. And Pete, I've never heard of this guy, Pete Mastroroco. Just kidding. He is kind of NECA celebrity. He is NECA celebrity. He's saying, good afternoon from Washington, D.C. A very special thanks to Katie, Stephanie, Beth, and their respective teams for doing such an amazing job at Nashville 2021. And Leslie from Vegas is coming in and saying it was absolutely awesome. I agree with Beth. Beth says it was the best convention yet, and I could not agree more. So look, before we go, any final words to get us excited about NECA's Safety Leadership Summit? I know, Stephanie, a lot of hard work has gone into it.
Yeah, the safety leadership is really a great opportunity for us to close out 2021 on a high note, because our safety team has put together a fantastic slate of programs to really make sure that NECA contractors have the resources they need to work safely. The conference is really timely because we expect OSHA to issue the emergency temporary standard COVID-19 testing and vaccination mandates any minute. Not literally necessarily today, but very soon. And we have speakers on this topic. This is something that we anticipated and were prepared for. So we have experts presenting at our safety leadership conference on the topic to really address it and to help make sure our members can stay compliant, stay in the forefront, know what they're doing moving forward. And Katie, I know that you had some great feedback on safety leadership as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many relevant, timely topics. Stephanie was saying ETS. We have Eric Kahn from Kahn Maciel, and they're going to be presenting and breaking it down. We also have a session on mental health and its effects on construction workers. So I know you guys are going to be hearing from Mike Starner and Wes Wheeler, and they're going to break this down a little bit more, but it's definitely a must-attend event.
Must attend indeed. And folks, I am actually kind of sad even that this episode is coming to an end now. It feels like this is the end of the Nashville journey. But how soon, Stephanie, does the planning start for Austin? Do I need to learn the guitar at this point? Do I need to polish off my cowboy boots? Are you going to be singing, Stephanie? I feel like you and I... Go ahead.
Oh, I've learned one thing from motherhood, that singing is not my forte.
Well, look, I was going to close out on that, but I do have to ask, how are things? I haven't seen you in person since you become a mom. We say mum over here, but I'm going to go with mom for the purposes of our North American audience. How are things? How's everyone?
Everyone's great. Everything is going well. She's, I believe, sitting in on a meeting with her dad right now, so that's a good thing. But everything's going fantastic. She, I think, learned a little bit from the NECA convention, as did I, and we're powering forward.
I think you should have just went with little NECA Adamec. That's a perfect name. I think NECA Adamec has got a real ring to it. We could have got the web domain, NECAAdamec.com, NECAAdamecConvention.com, NECAAdamecNow.com. There's a lot of branding decisions we could have made around. So I'll ask you both one last question, because I kind of don't want to see you go. Katie, what are you most excited about between now and the holiday season?
Between now and the holiday season, well, we have a lot of really great events coming up. So, and we also are doing some really neat stuff where we're breaking down what worked really well with convention and areas that we could see to improve, just so how we can build. And so I'm really looking forward to the planning and strategy sessions we're doing internally and the meetings that we have coming up. And then just a little time, like Stephanie, I have young kids at home, so the holidays are always a very exciting time for that.
It is just moments away. Now, Stephanie, are there any trick-or-treating costumes for your beautiful new baby?
Yeah, the baby and the dog have a matching costume, actually. They're both going to be pumpkins. So I'll share pictures of that when we get to that point. But we've got that planned.
Stay tuned for the exciting costume announcements here on NECA Live every Monday. We will bring you that breaking news. Katie and Stephanie, it's so nice to spend some time with you. It was so lovely to see you all in person, and I hopefully will catch up with you again really soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. And of course, a huge thanks go to you, our regular Monday viewers. It was wonderful to bump into so many of you. I don't think I have ever seen given quite so many selfies in all of my life. I don't think I've taken so many. I think that if you were to put all of the selfies together of all of the people that I met on the convention floor, you would see me slowly getting heavier as I was enjoying the Nashville cuisine throughout. So a huge thank you to every single one of you for supporting us, for being a big part of the NECA family. I want to thank Katie and Stephanie for joining us as well. I know that the NECA team's hard work really did pay off, and it's all thanks to you guys. Now, remember, be sure to head to NECASafetyConference.com and register today. We are at the 2-week countdown right now, so you have got to make sure that you are registered so you don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to protect your team and protect your business at the same time. As ever, thank you so much for joining us here. This has been NECA Live.
All virtual content from NECA 2021 Nashville is available now for registrants for 30 days. This is your chance to explore everything you missed from convention, including all education sessions. You can quickly and easily access these sessions by going to NECALive2021.NECANet.org. Select Full Schedule, then click On Demand. With just one click, you can access all the virtual education sessions from the convention. And don't forget to visit the virtual exhibit hall, also available for 30 days. We'll see you there.